Tottenham have bottled a top 4 spot in the Premier League. It's official. The result today confirms to me that there is no chance Spurs get into the top 4 and play Champions League football next season. They've still got some really tough fixtures coming up and they've not been in the best of form. Losing 2 London derbies in a row does not put them in good footing to play Manchester City and Liverpool. Today, weirdly, I expected Tottenham to do something. Going into this, having just lost against Arsenal, I know Chelsea got battered around the park by Arsenal. I just thought maybe this is Spurs' time to shine. And then I heard a stat during the match which completely changed my mind. So, Tottenham have only won once at Stamford Bridge in the last 38 matches there. That is one of the worst records in a London derby. I can't believe that is actually true. Chelsea are riddled with injuries at the minute. I think about 7 or 8 of their usual key defenders are out injured. I've got to admit, Alfie Gilchrist looked absolutely buzzing when he was coming out of that tunnel. It's so nice to see a player, I hate Chelsea, but it's nice to see a player who has come through the academy, been there since a young lad, and he's actually getting an opportunity. This was his first start at Stamford Bridge. What a moment for him. And to be honest, throughout the game, he completely pocketed Son. Son may as well not have been on the pitch today. Such an important player for Tottenham, and he went completely missing in today, which was probably the final nail in Tottenham's coffin for top 4 hopes. 7 wins in the last 9 for Chelsea going into this fixture. So, bar the Arsenal result, maybe Chelsea are actually turning a corner. That Arsenal result could have clouded all of our judgments on Chelsea. Is Poch actually doing okay? I don't know. I think with the amount they spent, they should be expected to do this well, but it's still impressive that they can get over a result like that, go and get a draw to Aston Villa, the 4th best team in the league, and then go and beat Tottenham, who technically the 5th best team in the league at the minute. Fantastic. Let's jump into the game a little bit. Within the first 10-15 minutes, Nicholas Jackson was gifted a chance. He got it under Vicario, the Tottenham goalkeeper, and Van der Ven came out with an unbelievable clearance. Van der Ven has been consistently one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League this year. Dug Vicario out of a pretty big hole because he probably should have done better. When Jackson's running through, he comes out a little bit, steps back, can't quite make his mind up. And in fact, throughout this game, especially from set pieces, there was a lot of nervous energy coming from Vicario. It was only last week that I gave him my Premier League goalkeeper of the year, and I'm thinking maybe that might have been a little bit of a mistake. It's still too early to judge, but his form in the first half of the season was unbelievable. Maybe now players and teams are actually starting to work out some of his weaknesses. Cucurella and Mudryk down the left wing is absolutely criminal in 2024. I can't believe 2 players that cost a grand total of about 150 million and they have the end product of a championship pairing. In fact, most championship pairings have better end products than them two. Both quite quick, admittedly. And in fact, Cucurella wasn't very bad defensively today. He was actually one of Chelsea's better defensive players. But when it comes to him putting a pass through, which never happens, never ever goes well. Chelsea were pretty much on top in this game up to about the 20th minute, which is when they win a set piece. Chalobah left pretty much completely open at the back post, one of Chelsea's tallest defenders and centre-backs from a set piece. Absolutely mind-boggling defending, and something now Spurs are really starting to look poor at set pieces, obviously conceding a few against Arsenal, and then this today. But yeah, Chalobah with a fantastic header, and then VAR comes in and says, was there a block from Cucurella who came from an offside position, or was it just a block and a foul? Really glad that this goal stood, because in my opinion in general, is football since the start of time has had players making blocks like that. So just because there's VAR now doesn't mean that the whole game should change. And as much as I didn't want Chelsea to win, that goal deserved to stand, and it did. Tottenham's best chance of the half was also from a set piece, and it was a Romero header, very similar to one of the headers he had against Arsenal, and also very similar because he completely fluffed his lines. It's becoming a regular occurrence for Romero, someone who ranks highly among centre-backs for many people, but for me, if you compare him to Van der Ven or any of the top centre-backs in the league, he is not on their level. And the finishing in the last few games, when you need a centre-back to be winning those headers, he's not doing it defensively, and he's not doing it in the attacking third either. So a bit of an issue there for Spurs, but it seemed to me at least for the first 40 minutes, 35, 40 minutes of the first half, they really just didn't click. It wasn't working for him. I've never seen Ange that angry on the touchline. He was literally running up and down, shouting at players. He's not usually that irate. So going in at half-time, you think, all right, he's going to get him fired up. And that he did. In the second half, Spurs came out with a lot of energy, quick tempo, a lot more pressing, a couple of half chances. It did leave them open to the counter-attack to a certain extent. Chelsea exploited that a couple of times. Maddison came on for Spurs, and he looked lost. James Maddison didn't look like he was even there, really. No goals or assists for him in the last 6 games, which, given the start to the season he had, is a bit of a shocker, to be honest. And I'd be very surprised. I mean, should he still make it in the England squad? I guess it depends on the finish they have to the season. But right now, I don't think I'd take him. Maybe Ross Barkley's a shout over Maddison. Right now, things can change quickly based on form. But yeah, he didn't look very good. There was a couple of good bits of passing play with Son, but a couple shots he had just flew over the bar. Really, really poor from him. And then we go up to Chelsea's second goal, a free kick just on the edge of the box. Cole Palmer from Cole Palmer FC whips it over the wall, straight off the crossbar. Nicholas Jackson wins the header. I've got to admit, an fucking amazing header from Nicholas Jackson. He's just past the 6-yard box. 2 defenders in front of him. Obviously, it's practically an open net, but the power on the header to get it over is great from him. And also the positioning from him. This is the thing with Jackson. He misses a lot of big chances, and I don't know right now if he's a number 9 that can take any team to even European spots, never mind challenging for a league title, etc. But I do think in terms of raw talent, there's a lot there. It just depends how long we keep saying it's raw talent and how long it takes him to really grab a hold of it. Because today, he played quite well. He missed that chance in the first half. Good positioning for this. Good header. It is what it is. About 10 seconds later, Spurs have a chance to pull one back and kind of make the game back into a game for them. Brennan Johnson gets the ball just on the edge of the 6-yard box again and just fluffs his lines. Hits the side netting. Really, really poor from him. And then towards the end of the game, Spurs had a couple of half chances, but just really didn't look at any point like they were going to actually score. There was a couple of opportunities throughout the game, but this was Chelsea's game, and it really did surprise me. I didn't know that they had it in them after the season that they've had, but let me know in the comments if you think this means Tottenham have bottled the top 4, because I really do. I don't think now, with the fixtures they've got remaining, the form that Villa are on, Villa have been pretty good, I mean, throughout the season, especially. I don't actually know how they did in Europe tonight. Let me have a quick look, because that could affect things if they're getting to a European final. They're losing 4-2 to Olympiacos. I really wasn't expecting to see that result then. But okay, maybe they won't be getting to a European final, and maybe this could knock their confidence a little bit, actually. So I guess we'll see where we go from here, but my heart is telling me that Aston Villa are pretty much there in terms of securing top 4 and getting in the Champions League next season, which, by the way, I absolutely love. I'm a big advocate for a new club getting an opportunity on a European stage, and I think that they've done it in a fantastic way, and what Emery has done there, honestly, cannot be understated. He has done a great job. But for Chelsea, this is a really positive sign. If I'm a Chelsea fan, it's really, really hard to look past that Arsenal result. And I saw a lot of Chelsea creators, Rory Jennings, pretty much any Chelsea creator you can think of, saying that this is it for Poch. He should be done. Get him out of here. He just beat Tottenham, his old team, 2-0. Maybe give him a little bit more time. I do think he's slightly overrated, and they have spent that much money that they should have done better throughout the season. But if you take the last 10 games as a snapshot, realistically, up until that point, can he really have implemented everything he wants to? Probably not. So now is his time to really prove himself. And I think going into next season, well, it also depends what happens with their transfers, because there was a banner today promoting Conor Gallagher, another person who has been at the club for a long time. It looks like they might have to sell due to financial fair play. So we'll see what happens with him, because he is a star boy for them. He was incredible today as well. I didn't really touch on him, but he's just solid now. He is just the best central midfielder at Chelsea, better than the £200+ million signings, which is mind-boggling. Thank you very, very much for watching this video. If you're a football fan, we cover the Premier League, the Champions League, a lot of EFL fixtures as well. I'm a Leeds United fan, so sorry if you hate Leeds, but we talk about the Championship, and I'm sure we will be next year because that is exactly where Leeds are going to be staying. But yeah, please like and subscribe, do all the good stuff, and yeah, have an amazing weekend. Peace.